The final frontier.
Fox.
Breen.
Okay, episode 2. This time we're going to be less awkward, and we actually know kind of what we're doing. Plus, this one's I think this is our pilot.
This is basically the pilot episode.
Well, I mean, I think this is our pilot, too. Like, the last episode was the pilot, this is our pilot.
Oh, well.
Because last time we didn't really know what we were doing.
That's cool. We still don't know what we're doing, but we're doing it anyway.
Well, we know more what we're doing, and this episode was way better.
The episode was called The Man Trap, so you know you're full of greatness.
And man traps.
And man traps when you get into this one. We started out by reading the Netflix description.
Which leads to the biggest confusion of the episode.
The final line in the Netflix description was, Scotty makes a decision. Which we found out in the episode he is not even there.
Now, originally it was funny to us just because it has the whole description of the episode, which is they fight a salt-stealing alien. But then, it's just comma, Scotty makes a decision. And then after the episode, which was amazing, by the way,
yeah,
we finished, and I was just like, Scotty wasn't even in that. He didn't show up once. He wouldn't even show up and just hey, Jim. And he didn't say anything.
We decided his decision was not to join the episode this time.
Maybe he was deciding which car to rent on Earth.
To get to the studio.
To get to the set, yeah.
Is he just lost for a while?
Scotty decides whether or not he wants to sign up for this crazy new Star Trek show his agent offered him.
He's like, maybe. I don't know. I have to check it out first.
Shall we start on the list? Or should we start with our first, overall review? Because it was amazing.
Let's start with the overall review.
Because it was amazing.
It was amazing. Especially Spock in this one. I just love Nimoy.
Spock always steals the scenes, but, not intentionally. With his acting, it's just something that happens.
Amazing.
Well, I guess in the pilot, it was his acting with the women.
The women!
But this time...
how obsessed he was with those vibrating
This time it was, mainly his makeup that made me,
That makeup artist is brilliant.
Or terrible. In a brilliant way. Okay. Well, I guess we should start on the list, because we have the whole list of notes now.
Yes, I decided to write it on the computer this time, because it was faster.
We already went through the first one.
Yes. This time there's a lot better graphics in the episode. It was like they upgraded major.
We weren't sure if they were the graphics then or if they updated them now, in a special edition or something.
I'm not sure, but
because they look kind of computer generated, but they were still better than the pilot.
It'd still probably be based off of the original graphics. So.
Yeah.
And the Enterprise continues to be dark, at least the bridge.
Well, for the first half of the episode, and the rest of it was okay.
Yeah.
But that first part where Spock was the placeholder for Kirk. It was a...
I'm sorry, I just hiccuped. Let's see, my next note is McCoy. I think I misspelled McCoy, and I'm not sure why I wrote him down, so we're gonna move on.
Well, because we got him back. We were both excited to have him back.
McCoy, yeah.
McCoy.
We do have our lovable cast, though.
Minus Scotty.
Minus Scotty. Rather than having Captain Pike, which I do not like.
He had his moments, but they were few and far between.
Yes. We also didn't have Chekov in this episode. And when you see the cast, you think that Chekov is there the whole time because all the pictures have him in it, but he doesn't really show up until, season 2. A couple episodes in. So he's only in they kind of just sneak him in.
So he was only really in a season and a half?
Yeah.
Because it only had 3 seasons, right? Mm-hmm. Which still blows my mind.
Yeah. Let's see. The first episode we agreed was very rough, but this one is already better in the beginning. With porn star Nancy Crater.
It's rough in the opposite way, where the first episode was rough because it was long and boring. It's this time it's rough just because it's they don't have a lot of money. But amazing.
But yeah, porn star Nancy Crater.
Yeah, one of the main characters is Nancy Crater, which is totally a porn star. Nancy Crater in The Man Trap.
And when we begin the episode, it's, I believe, Kirk, Darnell, the random extra, and Bones. And
the death count.
Kirk decides that Bones needs to greet women with bundles of wheat.
I think he meant for them to be flowers, but the whole planet doesn't have any.
Wheat is charming.
She can make bread.
Hey, baby, you want to make some bread?
Well, it's Shatner, so he's got the sexist side of hey, baby, make me dinner.
I would accept wheat from Shatner any day.
I'd make him bread.
You said that when they walked into the House of Nancy Crater. It looked like your apartment.
No, it's just because, like, the only reason I said that is because, like, when they walk in, the outside's all, like, desolate and, like, it looks tribal, and then they walk in and it looks like a 2-bedroom apartment from, like, Mars.
It probably is. And then there was a teapot with 2 spouts. I'm not sure how that would be practical in any way, except
But,
if
like,
you're serving 2 cups of tea, but...
It had, like, the spot in the middle where you'd put the tea, or, like, boil the water, and then it had, like, a spout on each side where you'd, like, pour it, like, as if you're trying to pour something and then pour it the other way. I guess I could see how it would work.
I don't.
Like, you could just pour it and then switch to the other side. If you had 2 teas right next to each
I
other.
guess, but
But
why...
why couldn't you just do this?
Is it too hard to pour 2 individual cups of tea?
as we go towards the future, we do get lazier.
Yes. Kirk looks like he's wearing eyeliner, which will bring us back to the makeup artist later.
Yeah, that's the least of the men wearing makeup in this episode. It gets way better.
This is also the episode where Nic Fox learned that McCoy's first name is actually Leonard.
I only knew him as Bones McCoy.
Which is understandable, because...
I remember the first time I said Bones McCoy at the same time, you were just like, I've never heard him referred to as that. And I'm like...
I mean, Bones.
No, yeah, but you had
Bones and McCoy.
You never heard them two together. When
Bones,
I said Bones
McCoy. It's a mouthful. Leonard.
What's great is that there's a Leonard in the cast.
Yeah. This episode is full of awkward close-ups, and really the whole series, included the animated series, is full
close-ups?
of those beautiful close-ups. So you will not be missing them for the rest of this time.
Well, of course, Shatner wants close-ups on him.
I want close-ups on Shatner.
Yeah. And we need, if Spock's makeup keeps going the same way it has been, I need more close-ups on him.
Yes.
Because it was hilarious.
And we decided we both enjoy how much McCoy likes to have this look of smacking people because they deserve it.
Yeah, he looks like he's always ready to choke a bitch.
Which is understandable.
Darnell, not Black. The guy Darnell that they had with him, the guy's name is Darnell, and he was totally white. You know Darnell was the name of the actor who played Raven's dad on That's So Raven?
I didn't know that.
That's why it makes me think of a black guy. I don't know, maybe it's not a black name.
It sounds like a black name.
Yeah.
Is that racist? I hope not.
If it is, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of racist...
We discussed that there was, no black people in Star Trek, the original series, minus Uhura, which I love her.
There was that guy that the salt monster turned into.
Yeah.
But I guess she knew. Or...
There's no main characters.
Oh yeah.
That are black.
Yeah.
It seems like they just kind of threw Uhura in there to be the one black person.
I don't think there was a black main character other than her until fucking Geordi, wasn't there?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think they had because in the movies they didn't add anybody.
No, they didn't.
Because who would want to? What's the next thing after Darnell?
You liked the purple stockings.
Yeah, she the Nancy Crater.
Janice. Isn't Nancy Crater?
No, Janice and all the other women on Starfleet wore black, but she was wearing purple stockings. No, actually it wasn't. It was Nancy Crater, but it wasn't her. It was Darnell's version of her, because the salt monster transformed. So it's not.
Speaking of the version of her, she was a very manly woman.
As Kirk says,
her jawline.
As Kirk says, she's a very handsome woman.
Yeah, handsome doesn't seem like it's a compliment, really, though.
But
seems like you're a man, but I want to make you seem special.
Manly. I like the note for that is manly jawed woman.
But then the next note is Sabrina is not a man.
just in case you forgot.
Yeah. Because I apparently did forget, remember? I was like, my jaw's not manly either. And I was like, wait.
I hope not.
The intro of Star Trek, the one we all know and love, actually happens this time, which is great. And then we go through the intro credits, and we got excited to see the Shat.
She wrote the Shat from where I'm looking at. It looks like it says the SWAT. And I'm like, they have a SWAT team?
I would love to see them as a SWAT team.
Actually, that Star Trek Task Force video game, Away Team Task Force was like a SWAT team, basically.
Oh.
But for Janeway's ship.
Janeway. But then I was like,
Janeway?
and Grandpa Nimoy.
Wait, is it Janeway?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was Janeway.
No, it's Janeway.
Huh. Well, they sound similar, so who cares?
Yeah. The Man Trap starring Nancy Crater. This is all like a setup to a porn video.
50% of the time Bones will smack somebody. We mentioned that already.
Yeah, it's true. He is the greatest doctor ever, I'd like to think.
Denny Crane.
Denny Crane is from Boston Legal, if you don't know.
Or say after we run out of Star Trek shows to watch on here, we need to start watching Boston Legal just because Shatner's in it.
Yeah. Anything with Shatner is great.
He's like the best character on that show, except next to James Spader, because James Spader's in like my top 3 favorite actors.
I wrote that Kirk is so handsome because I love him.
And then he's a young Kirk is handsome, and then Chubby Shat is adorable from like today.
I love Chubby Shatner, and I love young Shatner. I love him altogether, except for his sexist tendencies.
Yeah, but I guess everybody has their flaws.
Yeah, he did grow up in olden times.
Back in the days. But like young Shatner you wanted to sleep with, and then old Shatner you want to cuddle with.
Yeah. Other innuendos included in this episode were open your mouth.
Oh yeah.
Open your mouth for the man trap.
Oh, we didn't mention the back massage thing.
Oh, we didn't.
When McCoy is scanning the professor, who we didn't mention. We forgot to mention
Professor Crane.
Yeah, we're kind of failing on doing the summary.
Yeah.
They go to see Nancy Crater and then the professor, and then like McCoy scans him with like, I don't know, a medical box, and then it just ends up. It looks like he's just giving him a back massage.
We're going through the episode without describing the episode, which is kind of bad. So I'll quickly go through it.
Go.
Okay.
Do the whole summary, and we can go over it.
They're supposed to check on these 2 people who are living on this.
While you do it.
Don't interrupt.
What's Pop-Tarts, though? I had to let people know. We gotta get a product placement.
Anyway, they're checking on these 2 people who live on this barren planet who need a lot of medical attention occasionally, but they're refusing to have it. So they go in and check Dr. Crater and Nancy Crater, and the only thing they request is salt, which isn't unusual because apparently they need tons of salt on this barren planet, but they've had a lot of salt in the time that they've been there, which I guess is kind of suspicious. I don't see how it would be, but they seem to find it
I still don't get why they needed salt on a hot planet. I don't know.
I didn't know that they needed that.
That's what they said, because like Kirk was talking to him, and like he said, Kirk was like, "I understand. Everybody knows why you need salt on a barren planet like this."
I guess not everybody knows. We don't know.
Yeah.
Oh well, but anyway, they go to see salt, and then Nancy Crater leaves the building after she's been seen by all of the crew members as a different woman, whether she be young Nancy Crater, old Nancy Crater, or a random woman that Darnell likes.
Random manly woman.
Random manly woman. And the crew members start ending up dead, and so that's obviously suspicious considering that there's nobody else on the planet but them, and they are deficient of salt. And Bones is blinded by his love for Nancy Crater, who he used to get it on with 12 years ago or something.
Get it out.
And so they go through the episode and they're trying to figure out what is killing the crew members and where is it. And they finally discover that it is Nancy Crater stealing all the salt. And we'll go through specific details later. But
oh yeah, we don't want to spoil the ending.
Yeah. So I guess that's it.
Woo, yeah.
Woo, okay.
Brought to you by Pop-Tarts. No, what note were we on?
I don't see any chairs. Oh yeah, Dr. Crater invited Kirk to sit down, but there were no chairs in the apartment, and then suddenly he ended up on one.
There was just one behind him.
Yeah. Magically. And then, I don't know why I wrote Kirk is like Bones is crazy. I can't remember.
Oh, I think his face. Oh, it was the gray hair thing.
Yes, because they kept seeing a different woman, and Kirk saw the old Nancy Crater, and Bones saw his young, lovely Nancy Crater, and Kirk was like, I swear, man, he's got some gray hairs, and Bones was like, no, she's beautiful.
It's like he's like telling, it's like his friend, like if you told your friend, it's like, yeah, he's like, oh, I think my chick's beautiful, and you're just like, oh, she's kind of ugly. Oh, no, but like, she's like good for you and everything. A mouse fell.
We get to see a moment of Kirk running as he tries to...
He sprinted out of the apartment, but then, like...
What? Oh, he sprinted because he heard a scream.
Oh, but, like, a thing... I don't know if you noticed it, but, like, I saw was, like, he sprinted out of the apartment, but, like, in the scene change, like, McCoy and the professor are, like, right next to him. So, like, he was running way faster than them, then they were caught up to each other. It's like Kirk hit a loading screen.
But I like the way he runs. He's so smooth and so fast. I swoon.
I want him.
I want him.
This whole episode is just you wanting the Shat. Which, who doesn't?
It's a problem. Let's see.
OMG, so hot. That's one of the notes.
Darnell then ends up dead. And Nancy Crater is suspiciously there.
Oh yeah, like you wrote down blue shirt, khaki shirt, red shirt.
Because before there were red shirts, there were blue shirts. And before there were blue shirts, there were khaki shirts. Even though nobody in a khaki shirt died.
No one died in the pilot. This one we had like a death toll of like 3 or 4.
I think it was 4.
Let's see, it was Darnell, and then the balding guy that they bring the second time around, and then
Beep boop man.
yeah, the vacuum cleaner guy, and then I think that was it. And she almost kills Kirk.
Shat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
oh shit.
I commented difficulty spelling because on the computer I had difficulty spelling words.
What was the one
functioning?
You forgot? You just I think
I forgot how to spell khaki.
Did you write down the suckle muckle?
Yes, I did.
We'll get to that later.
They all got super sweaty super fast, so I guess it's because the planet is hot or because the lights are way too close.
Well, I mean, we know that they have a thing about close-ups, so... Oh, God. I just take up.
Let's see, Kirk angry, because Kirk gets his angry face on at DeForest Kelly, or Bones.
He got angry at the professor, too, I think.
Yeah.
He was getting angry all over the place.
He was. I commented that DeForest Kelly is so cute because I love him, too.
You just want to sleep with the whole cast.
I mean, it's not that I want to sleep with them, I just want to hold them.
I want to cuddle them.
Yeah.
And, like, rub his jaw.
Yeah. They had very good editing in this episode.
Yeah, that's what I said, because, like, they cut, like, in that scene where they first meet Nancy Crater, like, it's showing how everybody sees her different, and, like, it's each time she turns, it edits to where she looks like the blonde chick, or the younger version, or the older version.
And this episode was obviously 1,000,000 times better than the pilot, but in a different way than the pilot, I guess.
I mean, the pilot was good, it was just kind of long.
It didn't feel like Star Trek.
Yeah, like I said, it was like Twilight Zone. This is totally Star Trek.
Yeah.
From beginning to end.
Except not.
Yeah, he didn't get shirtless.
Yeah.
I could tell that's what you were going for.
You knew.
But the Netflix preview of the next episode, the thumbnail is just Shatner shirtless.
So get ready for that.
Get ready for some shirtless Shat.
Let's see. They kept talking about salt in a way that made me uneasy. I don't know why.
I didn't really catch what you meant by that.
I want some salt.
Is that what there was? Like, I didn't notice. I guess I was just too busy spinning around.
It was uneasy for me.
Spinning around in your office chair to notice.
Yeah. Uhura is bitchin'. I love her. She's a good representative of the female way.
The female way. But what about Janice? Is she like a representative of the other side of females?
Kinda. She's in the middle.
She's like in between, like, strong, independent woman and bimbo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's not bad. If she likes it that way, she can stay that way.
Yeah, I've got no problem with bimbos. Unless they're annoying.
Yeah.
And she's not.
No.
You're like, no, I love her.
I like Uhura's neon green earring hoops that match her nail polish. Because
yeah, I like that touch.
That's paying attention. Let's see. How to make Spock uncomfortable. Number 1, hit on him. Like Uhura attempts to do while waiting for Kirk to get back, I guess.
Yeah.
She said she was tired of the communications console. I would be.
Yeah.
Listening to nothing for a while. Those the things that they put in their ear are so weird.
Now they were funny.
They're like listening Q-tips, but
I like
bigger.
but big.
Metal.
Bigger and metal and far more dangerous.
Completely not like Q-tips at all. This is the first moment where we see Spock in his beautiful makeup, where I noticed that he was wearing pink lipstick. He's very pretty.
He's so hot. It's one of the notes on here.
We were watching a scene where Spock was on the comm system, and
Yeah.
you said it looked like Christmas lights.
In the back. Well, because like the rule for sci-fi before like 1980 was just that there had to be like random blinking lights in the background. So like he's like, Captain, this is Mr. Spock on the bridge, and like it cuts to him, and he's just there, and it's just like blink, bleep, 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 bleep.
We noticed that the shirts look very soft, like they're velvet. I want one.
Yeah.
Give me one.
Well, I mean, they make the bathrobes, but I don't know if those are velvet. Oh, that'd be nice.
Damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor. Oh, wait, yeah.
Oh, yeah, what was that about? Oh, yeah, when Kirk got pissed off at him for, like, he was like, oh, Jim, she looked just like she did 12 years ago, and Kirk was like, one of my men's dead, although I don't know why he cares. We're going to lose a lot more men before we get through season 1.
Seriously. You should be used to it by now. My next note was that Fox tends to move around in a weird position when watching shows. He was like upside down.
I like how you didn't tell me that one. That was like a secret one that you wrote.
It was.
It was because I don't know. I like it's because that thing spins. I like moving around.
You were like upside down.
Did it?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I wasn't upside down. I was leaning on the
like
bed.
Pretty much upside down.
I was getting there.
Yeah. Gingerbread was gone from this episode, unfortunately, and I don't think he ever comes back.
The only guy similar to him was the guy who sat next to
Sulu?
I think
Sulu wasn't there yet. Whoever was the helmsman at the time.
I think he was sitting next to a horror, actually.
No, he was sitting at the helms station.
I know, but I think she was there for some reason. Because it was somebody I recognized. It wasn't just like a throwaway guy.
No, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
The cups that they have on the Enterprise are like airline cups. Like, you know how you get the like tiny drinks on airplanes?
I don't, because I've never been on a plane.
Oh, well, I do. Because I just got off of a plane.
Oh, you just got off like 8 planes.
Yeah, pretty much. But they have the shitty cups that don't hold a lot, but they were like spray painted silver. And next, I noticed that Spock is now wearing eyeshadow.
He added another layer to his makeup.
Yes, he did. He's beautiful. Their shirts are very short. Everything about the 60s was short, pretty much.
Yeah.
I guess that was when they started being like, woo!
Except the hair.
Exposing.
I think Janice is a good example of that.
Yeah.
How long must have her hair been to get it?
It must have been very long.
Because Janice's hair is like interwoven with each other.
I think that's amazing.
I think it's
if
cool.
that's her actual hair. It's amazing if it's a wig too, because you still had to mold it like that.
I'm sure it was her actual hair. She probably just had like shit tons of it.
They decided to remove the door guard this time, which I don't think it's an improvement because I liked how uncomfortable he looked.
Yeah, but it's probably an improvement for the fact that like that guy clearly didn't belong there.
Yeah.
Imagine if every elevator you went into had a guy next to it to guard it. Just like, how's it going?
Would you like him in? No.
This isn't going to make sense to anybody listening to it, but imagine if it was Obed.
Maybe you should cut that out. But
That's like he's going to hear this. It's like it's going to ruin his
career.
career.
They're not going to know.
Yeah. They're going to wonder, though. That's the mystery.
The mystery of Obed?
Yes. We'll tell stories about him, and people just wonder.
Anyway.
I'll probably cut out the bit of us just talking about that now, though.
Yeah. But, anyway, we noticed a close-up of Bones, and his eyebrow is always lifted. But it's lifted in the kind of way that looks like Spock's eyebrows, which makes us think he is half Vulcan. Maybe like his left side.
He's like literally half Vulcan.
Like split down the middle. Because his other eyebrows.
That's not what I meant, but I like that.
I mean, I like that better. But,
he's like a Subway sandwich. It's like, can you put the Vulcan on just the left half of the bread? Yeah.
We noticed the weird holsters that look like it's pulling down their pants and showing their belly.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was because Darnell was the first guy I noticed wearing that. It looked like I was like, is his stomach showing? And I'm like, oh no, he's just wearing some weird skin-colored holster for his phaser.
I've noticed that this episode is mostly just describing the differences between the pilot and the pilot.
I mean, it is the one we did right after.
So, I mean, that works.
But is it? Because like we haven't talked about the pilot in a couple minutes now.
Oh no, it's just we're saying things that are different.
I mean, I guess the next episode will be different.
Yeah. This one's just like introducing what is Star Trek.
I mean, because like this time we actually know.
Not Star Trek. But they decided on smaller communicators, which I guess is more logical because those things were huge.
Yeah, they were big and like they look like a DVD case that had like a grill on it.
I like Shatner's slick hair. He's beautiful.
It's this episode's 25% comparing it to the last episode, 25% talking about Bones and Spock, and then 25% you just swooning, and then the other 25% is like, I don't know, us talking about Obed.
I mean, I don't mind that. They brought out the salt, which Nick thought were actual like salt grains.
Yeah, I thought when they pulled it out, I thought it was a big thing full of. Because when he showed it, I thought it looked like if a salt shaker was empty and like there's just grains on the bottom.
Yeah. But
then he moved it and they're all big, and I was like, "What the hell?" And it was salt tablets.
I thought it was going to be some sort of alcohol because it looked like a decanter.
It did. I thought that's the other thought I had.
Shatner would have been like, "Let's take a drink now." Okay?
Yeah. Then he would have slapped somebody.
I wrote down that I can do whatever the fuck I want, but I don't think I was talking about me. I think
it was was it Janice?
It was Shatner, or was it?
No, yeah, it was Shatner. It was Shatner.
Yeah, it was Shatner.
Yeah, because like he said, the professor told him to leave, and then he was like, "I'll do what I want."
Yeah, I can do whatever the fuck I want, and everyone dies because everyone dies.
Oh yeah, yeah. They brought a gold shirt with them too, who died, and then the alien assumed the role of him. What was his name? Green. I think his name.
Yeah, his name was Green, and then he had a creepy face.
His name was Breen.
Breen, no. The marks of the alien that is absorbing the salt from the bodies looks like it could be a land octopus, which I would have liked more than what it was.
Well, when you see it at the end, it kind of looked like an octopus. It looked like it was half octopus and half like gremlin.
Yeah.
Octo gremlin.
Just imagine the procreation in that. The red rings of death.
Wait. Before we talk about that, I just noticed a note on here that says "salt her breasts," which I know is about Janice because she was salting food when we saw her. But like,
don't move ahead of the list.
I just want. All right,
we go chronologically through the episode.
All right, I'm just wondering when she salted her breasts and why I wasn't watching that scene.
Anyway, red ring of death.
Yeah, it was like an Xbox exploded on their face. Hey, and okay, we had the Windows blue screen in the last episode and Red Ring of Death in this one.
Oh.
We might as well be sponsored by Microsoft.
There's a theme.
Uh-huh.
Craters names for parts of the planet included Dickens. So that was just out of... She's not in Dickens. She's not in Hubba
Yeah, it sounded like you said she's not in Dickens. She's halfway to Hubba by now.
Hubba Bubba or Hubba Baloo?
Hubba's where we make all our bubble gum.
The villain that smiles.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I'm so smooth I will smile.
Which that gets way funnier later on.
I enjoyed how Kirk on his transporter pad was posing as he came into view.
He had to look pimpin' on the way in.
Because he is pimpin', and I love him. And then he decided to fuck with the dude's controls in the transporter room. He
made he gave him some order, but it looked like he just walked up and was just going like...
I'm gonna mess with your shit. I got a lot vulgar in this episode.
Some fucking dicks and shit, bitch.
We noticed that not half, or some of the red shirts were very bright.
Yeah, like every other red shirt had a really bright colored red shirt.
I think they were almost Clorox safe bleach.
They were almost red orange, but I like your idea.
At one point, Kirk almost runs into the cameraman, which I think he like tripped or something.
I think the cameraman almost ran into him because like it was doing like a West Wing thing where it followed him while he walked, and then the camera like almost slammed into his head when they got into an elevator.
Maybe the cameraman forgot about the distance between his face and the end of the camera.
Either that, or maybe he had to like fit the camera in because the cameras were pretty big back then.
Sure. At first we thought Yeoman Janice. I don't know her last name, but Janice.
That's all you need to know. You know who she is if you're listening to this.
Janice was eating lunch in the hallway, but no, she's eating Sulu's lunch. Yeah. She brings it to him.
Which was like, it got weirder as it went on, because at first I was like, why are you just... She walks up, she's like, hey, Green, talking to the space alien that assumed the role of the guy, and she's just sitting there eating, like, celery in the hallway, and I'm like, why are you eating lunch here? And then I guess salts her breasts, like... I guess she wrote that down because she was just kind of going like this.
No, you said it.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
What did I... Oh, it was the alien. That's what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Okay, I thought you meant she was salting her breast. She was just throwing salt on her chest. It was because the alien acted like he didn't.
That would have made the episode a lot better.
He didn't act like he was menacing. He acted more like he was an awkward teenager trying to ask Janice out.
It's true.
Can I salt your breast? I'm gonna go. Then he goes into the bathroom and masturbates.
They decided to change the jumpsuit that belonged to the doctors in the first episode to belong to the crewmen, which makes a lot more sense because they're basically like mechanics, I'd like to think.
Yeah. Well, we saw one guy, like, I'm pretty sure he was actually painting.
He looked like he was painting part of the wall red.
He was painting. It looked like he was painting the pipes red, which makes sense. You don't want anybody to trip.
And then we get introduced to Sulu, which is fantastic because I love George Takei.
Yeah, he's awesome. And gay.
Yep.
George Takei. He must have heard that so much. I bet if you say that joke to him now, he'd probably just slap you.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, they deserve it.
And he is in the botany lab where you can see a plant that has feelings, but it actually looks like a hand.
Well, at first the effect was really good because the guy didn't open all his fingers, but then like Janice is like, it's such a cute plant, and then he's like, oh, and he like starts moving his hand around, and you can see like it's totally a dude's hand.
And then later the plant starts to panic because he sees the alien, and I guess can know it's there, like have senses like.
It's like how dogs.
Animal, yeah.
It's like how in horror movies dogs always sense ghosts. Yeah.
It's the plant senses aliens.
I always wondered
and
why
then started freaking out, and you could obviously see it was a hand.
I've always wondered why that is. That it's like dogs. Like I know they have higher senses, but like I don't feel like that gives them paranormal sixth sense.
Well, no, it's like dogs and elephants and cats and stuff. They know when natural events are going to happen.
Oh.
Like they know when earthquakes are going to happen.
Oh yeah,
stuff like that. So I guess they're trying to like make it similar
like,
to that.
This is the last thing I'll say, so we don't go too far off topic. But like when that tsunami happened in what was it, Thailand or something in 2005?
Yeah, all the elephants.
All the animals ran away, and then everybody was just like, "I wonder where the animals are going." And I'm like, I would be going that way so fast.
Like if the animals are running away, you know that.
Sir, how would you like your steak cooked? I think I'll take it meat. Excuse me, I have to go.
Why are you eating steaks in Thailand?
Because I'm a fucking badass.
Okay.
What's great is in 2005 I was 10, so I'm just a 10-year-old in Thailand. Yes,
by yourself.
Yes,
eating a steak. Okay.
I don't think a 10-year-old should be eating a steak to begin with.
Kirk walks into every place that he goes to, like, sup, bitches.
I love that that's a note.
Technically, the note is sup.
Sup. I love celery.
Because that's basically all Sulu eats. He eats like 2 things of celery and then his random fruit blocks.
It was 3 things of celery. It would have been 4, but Janice had to go and eat one.
Greedy.
And then he ate his random nutrition blocks.
I want to try those.
Because space.
I do. I want to try those.
Yeah.
If somebody can provide them, I'll be so happy.
If they have nutrition... Well, you kind of did. Remember those little weird jubes? Remember the jubes?
Oh, jubes!
Those were kind of like food blocks.
We found jubes in the grocery store. They're essentially coconut cubes that are... They feel like gelatin, and they're soaked in juice that tastes like strawberries or like lime or something.
Yeah.
And they're basically fibrous material. So if you
she got them and ate the entire bag, and then just felt horrible.
Yeah, don't do that. Sulu pets the plant. So Pet the plant, Sulu. Yes, pet the plant.
It was after the alien showed up so you could get it to come back out.
Mm-hmm. And they were talking about if the Green was his name? If Green was space happy, so I guess that's
the term for, like, going crazy.
In space.
I guess that guy's pretty space happy.
Sounds like you're just happy.
Something that Pharrell Williams song comes on.
Because I'm happy!
And then just Green's going down the halls.
I would be so happy. I'd be space happy.
I'd be so happy, mainly because that means they time traveled to get the rights to that music.
But, let's see. Next we see Uhura being like, move, bitch, get out the way, as she exits the elevator, which, I mean, more power to her.
I appreciate that they did that to the tune of the original Ludacris song.
Did I?
You're gonna move, bitch, get out the way, it's how it goes.
Let's see. She has rave earrings, you commented.
Well, yeah, the neon green, it looks like they'd be really good for a rave.
And then she has an, I can't remember the word.
The word for what?
An encounter with the alien who has now transformed into, like, her dreamiest black man.
Yeah.
Black crewman, and,
well, apparently
he looks very creepy. He looks like a rapist crewman, especially when he goes for her face.
Well, I mean, he acted rapey, because she was just, like, he talked to her in Swahili. I'm assuming she's from, like, Africa, like Dory is. So, like, and then, like, after that, he's just, like, going, like, hands onto her neck.
I know.
And then Sulu and Janice walk out and are just like, we're going to the bridge, want to go?
And then they all face backwards on the elevator. I don't know why.
Yeah, like, it's like if you walked into an elevator and just stared at the wall, which I wonder if people do that.
I've never done it.
I
always face the door.
Yeah.
Face you when we go in the elevator together. We see Bones then on his bed, and he is thrusting the air. So sexy.
He was?
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
He was, like, adjusting himself, but it looked like he was thrusting the air.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So sexy, DeForest Kelly.
And he dresses like I do when I'm at home.
Yeah, so we decided that Fox is McCoy.
Damn right.
And then, Kirk is on the intercom system.
I get to go home and be like, Mom, I'm a doctor.
She'll be happy. Or very confused.
Or both.
But then we get to see Kirk on the intercom with McCoy. And Kirk is, I guess, eating his dinner. Because, I'm not sure what time of day it is ever on the spaceship. But he is eating what looks like blue pork rinds.
I guess it was one of the fruit blocks, though.
It probably was.
Or I guess they aren't fruit blocks because they salt them. I don't know. Whatever food that is, they were eating food blocks.
Somebody explain the food to me. And him. Him meaning Fox.
This is why we need Gene Roddenberry alive. Just be like, what are those? Watch Gene Roddenberry, like, if he were still alive, he'd probably be like, I don't know.
Food.
It's what they eat.
Yeah, we see blue pork rinds, and then we see McCoy's favorite sleeping pills, otherwise known as Red Hots.
They really look like Red Hots. Or Cherry Sours.
Which Nick loves.
Cherry Sours kick ass, yes.
Yeah. So, which Nick loves, which makes him more like Nick McCoy. Half the time I call you Nick, half the time I call you Fox.
Oh, that's my whole name, so
Nick
it doesn't matter.
Fox, Nick Fox.
It doesn't matter which one.
Then we see my favorite guy of the episode. It's a random crewman in, like, a spacesuit. Just, like, gently poking a screen, going boop, 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 boop.
It sounds like he's backing up.
Boop, boop.
Which immediately made me think of SpongeBob. Backing up. Backing up.
And he wasn't touching anything. He was kind of just waving his hand over the screen.
He looked like the robot from Red Dwarf, which you don't know, but like anybody who's seen it, it was like a sci-fi comedy show from the BBC. But like there was a robot on there, and he had a vacuum that attached to his crotch. So like it looked like that guy, but like in Star Trek, minus the crotch.
But yeah, he's my favorite. And then we cut
sadly,
back.
And he's one of our casualties.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Spoiler alert.
Well, I mean, we already know everybody's. We went through it earlier. Remember, we counted.
Oh, well, anyway.
Post-spoiler alert. Ha! Deal with that.
Then we cut to Spock, who is at his I guess, science officer console. And on his screen, it looks like he has one of those YouTube videos where you try to hypnotize yourself.
He looked like he was trying to hypnotize himself.
It did, and that
Damn it, Jim,
screen
it's not
doesn't
working.
go away for the whole episode. Don't know what it does.
I'm assuming it's just there on the Enterprise all the time to look cool, but like it's like, what's that for? Oh.
And I want to try the food. I repeat, I want to.
Yeah, she like. Remember how last episode you wrote down very long episode 3 times? This time we wrote down about the food like 8 times.
The food and how hot everybody is.
Yeah, especially Kirk. You wrote down him a lot.
Yeah, but it looks like they eat Legos in the future. Do they eat Legos?
I would.
That would hurt.
If Legos were edible, I'd so eat them.
Well, there are like candy Legos.
Oh well, yeah.
So
maybe that's what they're eating.
So you can.
Maybe Starfleet is like sponsored by the Lego toy company. What?
Maybe, I don't know. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Like you just like looked at me like huh? How genius!
Bones' room is very red. It's like the Love Shack.
And we forgot to mention it's very pimpin'. He's got like silk sheets and like lava lamps, and it's all like drenched in red light.
The man trap.
Hello, ladies.
The woman trap, or the
Would
man
you like
trap,
to meet
depending on
Bones'
what you
bone? What did you say?
The man trap or the woman trap, whatever he prefers.
Yeah. If it was Sulu's, it'd be the man trap.
Yeah. We decided it was like in Scrubs. I don't know if anybody has seen Scrubs.
Oh, I'm sure. The internet loves Scrubs.
But
I mean, we love Scrubs.
We love Scrubs. It's true. But like the Todd's house.
Yeah, it looked like the Todd's apartment.
A hammock up.
Minus the like the lady silhouette wallpaper that Todd had.
And then the favorite guy of the episode died by the octopus.
Yeah, the vacuum, the guy with the backing up noise got his face sucked.
And then you decided that you like the black stockings that are issued by Starfleet.
Yeah, I like that that's part of the uniform.
I do too.
And I don't mean that in like an ironic, like, oh, I like that it's part of the uniform. No, I literally like that it is.
I think it's smart. And then we discussed how they actually did wear things that were that short at the time. Like, everything was short except for the hair. What?
We'll get to it. And I'll point out the one I'm laughing at.
And then we cut back to Bones, who is with the alien as Nancy Prater at this point, who really wants him to go to sleep. So she makes him take his Red Hots and puts him into bed and then begins to stroke his jaw. But no other part of him, just his jaw.
Well, like the one I was laughing at.
He's a cute puppy.
Yeah, the one I was laughing at is that I can clearly see him as a dog, which she wrote down. Okay. But like you're saying that, and it's like, well, that's why she's rubbing his jaw. He's like a puppy.
He's a puppy.
He's like scratching under his chin. He's just like, And then she stops, and he's gonna be like, "Why'd you stop?"
And then it was like McCoy is popping pills. He's a thug. In a love shack.
He's popping pills. He has a love shack. Carries a gat.
Suckle my knuckle.
Do we need to say anything else?
No, that's it.
It was just because, like, that was the trademark aliens pose, though. That's how you knew that. Like, I guess that was their signal to you that they had changed into him. As if you couldn't tell that it's like, oh, there's 2 McCoys in this room. I wonder which McCoy is the real McCoy.
Suckle my knuckle.
Did you catch the real McCoy thing? I said that by accident, but like, then the alien would bite its knuckle, and then I just said, suckle my knuckle off, shoot, and she wrote it down.
I'm gonna use that in conversation now. Why don't you suckle my knuckle?
I'm gonna suckle my knuckle.
And then we could tell if it's computer-generated graphics,
or if they're just really good.
Yeah.
Who cares?
They were nice. And then I like how it's a constant theme in all of Star Trek that the background is just one color in different shades of that color.
Yeah. It's always like an orangish red color.
Orange or like blue.
Yeah, and then they just like change the tone.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to put too much effort into it because they put a lot of effort in the pilot.
Yeah, the backgrounds were always hand painted. Yeah.
I guess they were like, fuck that, like, too much.
That's what we kind of had to do that for every episode.
Yeah, it would. And then for some reason, when they come back on the planet to confront Dr. Crater, he's hiding behind a rock. And then Spock, like, slowly moves and hides behind a rock also. Like, some shit is about to go down. I am out.
It's like, and you don't know this, but if you've ever seen the original Star Wars, when Greedo comes up and Han, like, slowly reaches for his gun, it's like that, but, like, Spock is, like, slowly drifting behind a rock.
And then what are those rocks? It looks like alien Stonehenge. But I suppose if you're, like, one of those Stonehenge conspiracists, you'd be like, Stonehenge is alien, man.
Or just an alien conspiracist in general.
Yeah. Let's see.
Could it have been ancient aliens?
Tune in next week to find out.
Next week?
Next week. Anyway,
On the
Spock
beach.
is the only one who can pull off a bowl cut. Because nobody else can. I swear, if you have a bowl cut, change it.
Well, what about the Beatles?
They're dead.
Well, 2 of them are still alive.
They're dead.
they're dead anyway.
Pat, pat. I have no idea.
We were on the
I know where we
Stonehenge.
are. I don't know
Spock is the only one.
what I was trying to say here.
They don't look very stressed.
Oh yes, they sounded red alert, and they were just walking around like they were late.
It was like they found out what it was, and Kirk's like, sounded red alert, and it's like, this is a red alert. There is an intruder on the ship, and everybody's kind of like leaving their like quarters as if like, oh shit, I'm late for lunch. There was only one guy who looked like he was really worried about it.
He gets all the acting points on this episode.
I mean, I guess it's like the same thing. Like whenever there's fire drills at work, we're not like, oh my god, we just kind of leave.
So maybe it's not bad acting; it's good acting.
It's realistic.
It's so good
it's
that
realistic.
It is realistic.
It's realistic acting.
Yes. Star Trek is just that good. And then Kirk out.
Kirk out.
He's like his broski. Kirk is such a bro, though. Like, no joke.
Yeah.
Getting women, fighting people. Kirk
Eating
out.
fruit blocks
Eating
or food blocks.
Pork rinds.
Fruit pork rinds. Dude, what are you eating? Blueberry pork rinds? You know how it is.
Let's see.
Sounds disgusting. But at the same time, I want to try it.
I enjoyed the touch that on the planet there was a random lion statue.
Yeah, like
in the middle of the rubble.
When it cuts to Professor Crater. By the way, that was after we forgot to mention when Crater pulls out a fucking massive phaser.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're like, you're coming with us, Crater, and all of a sudden just like half the fucking alien Stonehenge gets blown up. And fucking Crater just has a massive phaser. Like, not like the phaser cannon from the last one, but like noticeably bigger than the Starfleet ones.
Badass. And then I enjoyed that Nimoy does a very nice army crawl, backwards and forwards. He's so cool. I love him.
But like at the same time, you got Spock doing like actual military like army crawls, and he's moving up and checking corners and everything. And then Kirk's like, I'm gonna move up on Crater and see if I can get him while you distract him. So like Spock's doing all the tactical stuff, and then Kirk is just like sprinting and like flailing his arms around. And at one point, he almost trips.
He is smooth.
Yeah.
I feel like he didn't like attend any of his academy training. He was kind of just like, I'm
Probably.
here.
I mean, in the Star Trek reboot, they show him as being like really rebellious, so I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm sure he was the same way in the original.
I wouldn't be surprised. Set phasers to stun. It's just a funny phrase.
Yeah, well, and it makes me think of Star Wars. Sorry, I grew up watching Star Wars. Deal with it.
He's a whore.
Hey, as a kid, which one seemed cooler? A bunch of dudes standing on a bridge talking about things, or guys fighting with laser swords?
Dudes standing on bridge. Any day.
Dudes standing on bridges, and then it's like not even Star Trek. It's just you're watching PBS shows about various men standing on bridges. Like, here's the Tower Bridge in London, and here's famous actor George Clooney on it.
I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I'd actually watched that show, sadly enough.
Yeah. Then we cut to Janice and Uhura at the console, and Janice apparently brought her tape recorder to the party. Don't know why.
Yeah, they don't really explain what that thing is she has on her.
I think it's supposed to be like something like a tricorder.
Oh, so yeah.
I would assume.
I guess.
But I wonder how they get her hair like that.
Yeah, we mentioned that twice, but yeah, it was really crazy.
It was, like...
Is there hair like that later on?
I'm pretty sure it is. Because that has to be a lot of effort, though. And I don't think it'd be a wig.
It didn't look like one.
It didn't.
Then again, maybe they're just that good. We know how good this makeup
I know,
department
they're
is.
pretty good. We're getting to that in a minute, don't worry. Let's see. And then Sulu is writing with, like, a big-ass pen. But he's not actually writing anything, but he looks like he's writing. Do they actually use pens in the future, Sulu?
I didn't
What
notice,
are you doing?
I didn't notice the pen because I was looking at that they still had the hypno video on in the background.
No, he had like it looked like a chalk tablet, but it was a pen that had to have been like as big as my forearm. Like, I'm not sure what he thought he was doing there.
It was one of those like oversized novelty pens you buy at a gift shop for your friends, and you're like, "Hey, I got you a souvenir."
Do you think he asked like Kirk to bring it back from the planet they had just visited?
Captain, when you go down, get me a souvenir. And here you go. You can have this big ass pen I got. Every planet they go to is a gift shop. It's really funny.
I think this is when we saw Kirk run again, and he kind of looked like he was dancing.
That's what I was talking about, where he's like running and he like almost trips, and he like did like a pirouette or whatever it's called, and like landed behind a rock.
He's a dancing man.
And then that's when we got to talking about musicals and Shatner. If he's
I
in
want to see a musical with Shatner in it. I want to see a musical of Shatner's life. You know?
I mean, we all know Shatner can sing. If you've ever seen the Rocket Man video, I want to be high.
You thought that the stun looked like they were recovering from an orgasm.
Well, it's because like when I imagine like setting a gun to stun, is like it hits him and knocks him out for at least 5 minutes. But like he stunned him, the Professor Crater guy, and then Crater was just like he was back up and like oh god, and like in just like a 30 seconds. So I'm like, that's not a very good stun. Like, what if you had to hit him from a distance and run up? By the time he got there, he'd already be back up.
Oh my god, we're running out of time in this hour-long podcast.
How long do we have?
Oh, we have.
We can go over because this is a good episode.
We have so much left to say. And then he made that worse, the orgasm thing, by saying, "Oh, I feel strange."
I feel strange in my crotch. I feel like I've been touched.
And then somehow he mentioned the buffalo. I think he was talking about the alien species on the planet.
Yeah, that's what he meant.
Like he was
equating
it to the buffalo, saying that the buffalo spanned like 3 states.
He said it. Yeah, he said he's like one herd spanned 3 states, and I'm like, I doubt that's true.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure if he's.
I'm not
accurate.
I'm not an expert on Great Plains, like the Great Plains region history, but I'm pretty sure that we didn't have that many buffalo.
I wish you were a buffalo expert.
I'm a buffalo expert.
I just feel like that'd make things a lot more interesting. You
Just
probably equate everything to buffalo.
Just like going to parties, and I'm like, yeah, you know, Buffalo used to span 3 states.
Nobody would invite you. I'm sorry. I would though.
Just like going through their phone book, just like, should we invite the Buffalo guy? All he does is talk about like the injustice of the buffalo.
And then you know things are serious in a Star Trek episode when Kirk's perfectly slicked back hair
gets the little Superman curl.
Yes, it makes him a lot more attractive.
Which I feel him because I wear my hair kind of like in the old fashioned way, and my hair does that when I'm busy and I'm doing a lot of stuff. It goes like my hair gets crazy.
But I like his Superman curl. I like Superman curls in general.
Yeah. Should start curling my hair like that. If I've got the Superman haircut, I just don't have the curl.
Oh well. And then we see Sulu again. Yes, Captain. And you know,
oh, yeah.
Everybody knows how much that George Takei does not like William Shatner.
Yeah. That's no secret anymore.
We just think it's kind of sad. I wish they were still friends.
Yeah, me too.
But Shatner's kind of a dick sometimes, so.
Yeah, at least, like I said, at least him and Nimoy are still kind of friends.
Yeah.
So there's that.
One can only dream that everyone's still friends.
Yeah. According to you, apparently Ahura just like hates most people.
I don't think she hates everybody. I think she just hates Shatner. Which makes sense because he was apparently not very nice on set.
Yeah.
So,
kind of up his own ass, but
yeah,
you know.
He like I said, he's pretty much a bro. I can see him being a bro with like Nimoy and DeForest Kelly on set. Like they'd all walk in and be.
Yeah, I feel like those 3 are still friends. Well, not DeForest Kelly anymore, but
rest in peace.
Yeah, but like I felt like they were friends because that they were the main 3.
Yeah.
And then Shatner probably treated everybody else like, you're lower than me.
Yeah, pretty much. I wouldn't expect anything less.
Yeah. I feel like, now it's like I expect Shatner to do that. It's just like, if he's on set, it's like, Shatner's going to treat me like a pile of crap. But I'm okay with that.
I would be so happy just to be in his presence. I'm a sad individual, I will admit. Anyway, we get to a beautiful part of the show when they're all in the boardroom.
Favorite scene of the episode.
Favorite scene.
Had me on the floor.
They're in the boardroom of the Enterprise, essentially, and they're just talking. And we barely listened to what they were talking about.
We couldn't stop laughing.
They kept focusing on Spock,
who now has blush.
Yeah, he gets blush the first time you see him, and then every other time you see him, he is wearing a little bit more makeup. Or he adds more blush. He just adds more makeup in general.
By the end of the scene, he didn't look like Spock. He looked like Leonard Nimoy trying to dress in drag.
And we enjoyed it.
I'm not Leonard
thoroughly.
anymore. I'm not Leonard anymore. Call me Lenny. Oh God, that was like the best thing ever.
Call me Leonard.
Leonard.
I'm trying to think of a female name for.
Oh, that's why I thought Lenny. I don't know.
Lenny still sounds like a guy.
I know. I just imagine Lenny from The Simpsons. Lenny's just the generic guy.
But he had so much makeup. I applaud the makeup artists because they were either super shitty, but it ended up great, or they were a genius because I loved it so much. Do Vulcans enjoy wearing makeup? Because, like...
That would explain it. Oh, and he switched from pink lipstick to red lipstick.
Yeah.
And our two theories about it were that they shot in order and they kept adding makeup as they went along, or my theory was that they shot in reverse order. And then, like, the first scene was the boardroom where they were like, he needs less. Take some of that off. And then they just kept taking it off till they got to, like, the one in the very first scene where he just had on eye makeup.
I think that it is probably that they shot in order and they're like, he needs a little bit more. He needs a little bit more. And then once they got to the red lipstick, they're like, oh, crap.
We're just like, well, Leonard looks like a tranny.
We'll just keep him that way for this scene.
We'll run it that way.
Yeah. We'll finish it and then we'll go.
No one will see this in the future anyway.
No, not at all. I don't think at that point they thought that it would be such a popular franchise.
No, yeah, I'm sure they didn't care.
So they're probably just like going.
Gene Roddenberry was probably the only guy who really cared.
Yeah. Everybody else thought that was crazy. But
actually, this is the first. The official first episode, and it was not written by Gene Roddenberry.
Was it? Oh yeah, it was written by Mark Daniels. Or
no,
Daniel
he directed
Marks.
He directed it. It was like George. The guy had 3 names. It was like George Henry or something like that, and then like a last name.
I'm not sure, but continuing chronologically with the episode, we then move back to the bridge, and we see a cute image of Sulu. He looks very young and adorable.
Now, is it just me, or does Sulu kind of look like an anime monkey? Because he has like a rounded head.
I can kind of see it.
And then like the little the ears on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would be racist if he were black, but it's not because he's Asian.
Either way, he's adorable. And then I have no idea where this note comes from. It says, "I'm hungry, I'll have your skin." That sounds kind of creepy in context with everything else there.
It makes kind of sense though, because the alien basically was like that.
Oh, that's probably what I was talking about.
Yeah. So I figured I saw that, and that's why I thought.
Oh, no, that's not. It was, Kirk said it. Because, he was yelling at Dr. Crater.
Oh,
and he was
yeah.
like, "Bring me the alien, or I'll have your skin." It sounded like he was like, "I'm hungry, give me your skin."
Okay, yeah, I remember that now.
Okay. Salty Love. Sounds like
So the next movie starring Nancy Crater.
Yes, Salty Love.
Where did the salty love thing come from?
I have no idea.
No, I don't know. I said it at some point. Still funny though. I don't know.
That basically summarizes this episode, though. Salty Love, because.
Oh yeah, I thought you meant that was the last note. I was like, that doesn't sound like it.
Episode. But I'm saying it basically summarizes the episode because
that's what it should have been called.
Bones loved Nancy Crater. And Nancy Crater is an alien who loves salt, so Salty Love. Done.
They call it the man trap, I guess, because the alien only kills men, but the alien does go after Uhura, though. So
that's true.
So is she a man? Da, 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 da.
Yeah, I think Salty Love would have been a better title.
Yeah.
We should have wrote this.
Yes. Would have had a lot more scenes of Spock and drag. I would have written him as a tranny. imagine the comedy to come out of that. No offense to transsexual people or transgender or transvestite. There we go. That's the word. People who dress up.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, Leonard Nimoy just looks so funny.
And beautiful.
Yeah, he was gorgeous.
He was gorgeous.
But, like, hilariously gorgeous.
And there were moments on the Enterprise where things were just flashing. So
yeah,
it kind of was like malfunctioning.
When they were in the,
when they need to restart the Enterprise.
When they were in the boardroom talking, like Kirk's talking, there was just a red light flashing in the background. It looks like your computer needs to get restarted. Paperclip comes on. Looks like you're trying to restart the Enterprise. Would you like some help with that?
That's old.
Well, yeah, so is Star Trek. It's everything's written in Comic Sans.
Yeah. I was wondering for a second why the science officer and why Bones, like the medical field, had the same color shirts, and that's when I was like, oh yeah, medicine is a science. So
well, it's like how when I first learned what MD meant, I'm like, does that mean medical doctor? But I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, I thought it was going to be something more, I thought it was going to be like something in Latin or something cool like that.
It sounds like it would be.
Yeah. Like how PhD means like a philosophy doctorate.
Really?
That's what PhD means, I think.
I did not even know that.
And you just like, you have a doctorate in like this philosophy, like English or whatever.
The more you know.
Yeah, it's weird.
Well, I said that I missed the khaki shirts.
But the last episode you were condemning them.
Nah.
You're not sure about them?
I don't know.
I feel like they should add them somewhere.
I feel like they should have had them to add more variety, but then I guess it would have been more confusing.
I miss the away team coats.
At one point, Spock gets a head injury because he's attacked by the alien. And for one, the bandage looks like a microchip.
Yeah, it looked like a microchip.
And then two, when you look closely at the cut is red, but the blood around it is green.
Yeah, which...
Now, if he had green blood, the cut would also have to be green. So that's illogical.
Most illogical.
Yes.
But,
most illogical, okay.
Maybe they did that so people would know it was a cut, or because like otherwise maybe they would have just been like, well, who threw green crap at Spock?
I think they still were probably like, who threw green crap at Spock, because it was around the cut.
Yeah.
It's only like people...
Like someone gave him a cut and then like snotted on him.
Or like had the Nickelodeon slime dumped on him.
He was like he walked in and the alien who has become McCoy at this point is just like, hey, do you know where this is? And he was like, I don't know.
Fucking fuck.
I
can't remember what
that was one of your notes.
You said it, but I can't remember why. I think it was just like they gave up on something.
Oh, it was my like go-to thing that I say when I give up on like these fucking fucks and they're fucks. They fucked.
I'm pretty sure that's what Kirk thinks 50% of the time.
Probably. And he's probably like, why don't I drink more?
And then he goes and drinks.
Yeah.
Somehow, Dr. McCoy is still passed out through all this panic and red alert sounding and people running around.
Yeah, the intruder alarm. Well, he is on pills.
Yeah, but like, they can't be that strong.
Maybe they are. I don't know. Maybe they're his personal stash.
Damn, popping pills.
Because I mean, didn't Kirk be like, take some of your pills?
Yeah.
Emphasis on the your.
I think he meant your as in you are a doctor. You have pills. And then
you're a doctor. You have pills. Just take some. I'm sure things will end great.
Kirk walks into his room like, "Sup, bitches? Shat's here."
Oh yeah, in the McCoy's room, right?
Yeah.
Because the alien has yet to eat McCoy, which would make sense if the Nancy were Nancy, or the alien were Nancy Crater, but it wasn't. So like, it was just like, I'll save you for last. Didn't make that kind
of like saving the dessert for last.
I guess McCoy was the dessert.
Saving the best for last.
He's scrumptious. Maybe he was the most salty.
Maybe. He did look kind of salty.
He was very sweaty.
Yeah. But during that scene where Nancy Crater is Nancy Crater and not an alien, and Shatner is walked into the room and Bones has just woken up, they have those superior close-ups. I forgot what that word was. Close-ups. Extreme close-ups. And
Extreme!
and they are perfectly focused on Kirk, perfectly focused on Nancy Crater, but it looks like the camera guy forgot to focus on McCoy. He was so fuzzy.
They need to fire their, I think it's a grip that focuses the camera.
Is it?
Maybe, I don't know. Whoever did it was not doing a good job.
Yeah. It was like they had just left it alone because he was the fuzziest thing ever.
They had told the guy working the camera, I guess, to focus on the background.
Or he was just like, the background looks nice. I
want to be avant-garde with this episode.
And then the alien acts like a crack addict with salt nearby.
Yeah, which Kirk uses to like show McCoy that it's not Nancy.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like, you want this crack rock?
And then he's like, come on.
Oh yeah, he's like, come here.
Come here. Eat the salt. Yeah.
Who's the good octopus?
And then once Nancy Crater gets the salt, she decides to throw up some sort of like kung fu hand signs.
Oh yeah, she threw up like the fucking like the tiger. Like if you ever seen, what was that movie with Wendy Wu, Homecoming Warrior? Remember that?
The one from Disney Channel?
Yeah. You remember how they had all the fighting things? Like that one, she learned the tiger one.
Uh-huh.
Like, that's what it looked like to me.
Well, either way, it's like your generic kung fu move.
There's a reference, like, we're not referencing anything nobody else, like, we're going to be the first podcast that mentioned the Wendy Wu, Homecoming Warrior.
I'm proud to say.
Yeah?
Yeah, salt kung fu.
That was hilarious, because, like, it was like, she took the salt from Kirk, and then like McCoy went after Kirk because he was like,
my love.
He was like, get away from my woman, and then like she ate all the salt, and then like Kirk threw McCoy off, and then she just went and like did like it was kind of like the Thriller dance.
It kind of was, yeah,
but without the
like the beginning,
yeah,
the first move, and then you stop.
Like if you started doing the Thriller dance, and then your mom walked in, you were like, Mom, get in my room.
I don't think that's ever happened to me, but I'll take your word for it.
It happened to me a lot. No. I didn't listen to Michael Jackson until I was a teenager.
Okay, and then we had the best fight scene ever where Nimoy Spock comes in.
Star Trek, the home of hilarious fight scenes. This one takes the cake on the first episode.
It really does, because Spock decides to punch her with both hands clasped together.
To his credit, that is an actual like thing. I think it's to make his hits like harder.
Oh, well,
like get hit with both fists. I don't know. It feels like it would be weird.
I mean, it looks funny for one, but her reaction was funnier than that because it was like her head was just tilting back.
Like, remember how we said she was the smiling villain? Well, like she smiles the whole time, and she's just like, it looks like she's like, nope.
like you're getting tickled by somebody, and you're like, no.
And then Spock's just like giving it his all.
And then
funniest fight scene. Look that one up.
And then her way to fight back is just to swipe her arm across his face gently.
Yeah, he like rocketed into the wall and like knocked down all of McCoy's books.
Super strong octopus.
Yeah. Octopi are pretty strong.
Yeah. And then we get to see the alien in its natural form after it's hit with a laser by Kirk. Not laser,
McCoy.
Phaser.
It was McCoy that shot it.
Oh, was it McCoy? Oh, yeah.
He shot it once, and then it turned into the alien, and it's like its cloaking thing went off.
Yeah. And it was like, oh god, like that was one ugly alien. It was like half octopus, half human.
I feel like the Mega Department was divided on like being awesome and like terrible.
Yeah.
Because like the awesome part was like that alien was great makeup, but at the same time there's that one episode where Kirk fights that one alien and he makes the cannon. Remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
They tested it on Mythbusters, and like that alien was just like a dude wearing a T-Rex mask.
I think they have their good days and their bad days.
Like it just depends on the day.
Or maybe they like let the intern try to do it one time.
like they're like, okay, for the main villain of the episode, we're gonna like have our best guy do it, and it's like, what about Spock's makeup in the boardroom scene? Let Jim from accounting handle that.
He looks bored.
Gene Roddenberry's like, I'll handle this. You need a little more blush.
And as Nancy Crater, as the octopus, attacks Kirk, he is the only one in the episode who gets attacked that screams.
I mean, we don't see the other attacks, though.
I mean, but
you
think
feel
that
like-
you'd hear them because they're in close proximity.
Like, one happened on the Enterprise. So.
Yeah, so he's the only one who really screamed, and you're kind of just like, why?
Maybe he just felt like hamming it. He wanted to shoot through some scenery.
Well, that's Shatner.
Yeah.
And
out of all those people that have been killed, I feel like Kirk should be the one that can take the most pain.
yeah,
He's the one that's always in a fight.
he's a dramatic man.
Yeah.
And then he puts his face down like, I'm pretty, or I'm not pretty now, don't look at me.
Yeah. It looks like, well, because like when the alien turns back into Nancy, he's like sitting at the desk and Nancy's looking at the camera. It looks like they just had like a really awkward sexual encounter at work.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, don't look at me.
Which, considering it was Shatner, that was a possibility.
I wouldn't be surprised. And then I had to question, why don't phasers leave any marks? Like, they don't do anything.
I always assumed they just like disintegrated people, but apparently they don't even do that.
Oh, I thought they would like leave marks like lasers do. You know how other lasers in shows leave a burn mark ring.
But they're
around?
not lasers; they're phasers.
Don't speak. Their phasers are like lasers, but cooler and more potent.
More potent.
That was my.
They have lots of babies.
And then I decided to inform the audience that our computers are named Data and Geordie LaForge.
Yeah.
So.
Because Geordie LaForge, I don't know a lot about Star Trek, but my brother used to watch it, and Geordie LaForge is always my favorite character.
You're gonna know a lot by the end of this, my friend.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna know a shitload.
Woo! And then Sulu is adorable because he's young. You get to see him again after that.
Well, I already learned that I was pronouncing, what was it, Janeway?
Yeah, Janeway, Captain Janeway.
I thought it was
Voyager.
Janeway, and I was wrong.
No, it's just Janeway.
At least I was close.
Yeah. And then at one point you said that.
What was the conversation they were having about that?
I'm not sure.
They said something about
it was at the very
Spock
end.
said something to Kirk, and Kirk said, "Oh, he was like, I was thinking about the buffalo," and then I was just like, I was thinking about the butt fucking, and then he's like, "Mr. Sulu," and then like I'm like, "Yes, Mr. Sulu knows a lot about that."
This episode is full of innuendos, and then as they zoom away from the planet, we see there's a rear view camera on the Enterprise.
Yeah, I didn't understand. Like they were going forward away from the planet. I guess Sulu just wanted to get a glimpse of the planet before they took off.
Bye.
And then, like all of a sudden, they hit an asteroid, and it's like, "Great, Sulu, good job."
And then the Enterprise shot away. Like, bye guys.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yes, Captain.
Yes, Captain. And that is the end of our notes.
And this time we actually did have a long episode, but it was totally worth it this time.
We didn't even mean to.
Yeah, we just had a lot of stuff. There was like we ran out of a lot of things.
Yeah. I mean, it's worth it.
Yeah. Well, by far, out of the 2 episodes we've seen, this is my favorite.
You're in for some joy.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, the other episode of Star Trek I've seen is the one where that guy does the testimony. The guy with like the 2 beeps for yes, 1 beep for no. Or
Oh yeah, I know.
I've seen that one, and then I learned how like that because like I saw it on a rerun on Fox at like 3 a.m. and I was looking for something to watch, and I was like, Star Trek, I might as well watch this.
Now it's time for the end.
Yeah, we got to end episode 2.
How do we end?
We
this?
really got to work on an outro for Boldly Go.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well,
what
let's
do we
just set up
say?
the outro music and
Oh, that's what I'm doing right now.
episode 3. We're finally going to see Shatner shirtless.
Stay tuned for more joy.
The episode, I think it was called Charlie X. Because I know I made the joke Charlie XCX.
Maybe. I'm not sure. I didn't see it.
Well, whatever. Shatner shirtless, that's all you need to know.
So.
I guess that's it.
Kirk
Boldly
out.
Go!
Space, a final frontier.